on the relationship space. Now, this can be towards the positive, can be towards the negative, depending on what your lesson is, Capricorn. But it does look like the main focus is on relationship this month, and it could be cleaning up a relationship that is committed. It can be learning how to release with love and kindness from a relationship that is not working. But relationship space looks like it is focused on May, and it can go the gambit, anywhere from planning a wedding to planning a breakup. So, but it does look like the relationship is focused this month of May. This medical insignia is lighting up for me, so make sure that you aren't taking your health for granted, that you are speaking your truth. You know, if we don't speak our truths in relationship, it usually eats a hole in us, literally creates, stomach problems, sleep problems, things like that. So make sure and speak your truth with love and kindness. Write it down if you're not able to do so. But there's some communication that needs to happen within this relationship, love relationship, intimacy relationship space. But the medical insignia is lighting up. And for those of you who are stepping away from a relationship, it may be some of your heart pain, your heart sickness that is happening. But it could go either way. It could be, planning on being more intimate or more connective, or releasing issues of a working relationship, or actually releasing the relationship itself. So what crosses you is it looks like you're having a little problem sleeping. It does look like things are kind of looming over you. There is sunshine here, but it looks like some of you lovely Capricorns may be focusing on the things that you have to do, or the negative, and it is laying too heavy in your head. Therefore, it is causing some sleep disorders that can go from sleeping too much for escapism, or not sleeping at all, or waking up with frightful sleep. So pick one thing at a time to resolve. It does look like some things are being resolved here. This is at rest, and that it is bringing you some peace, but there are other decisions to be made that are kind of just hanging over your head right now. So take them one at a time, sweet Capricorn. Don't look at them as a collective. It's too overwhelming. But one thing at a time, and one foot in front of the other, and you'll be able to kind of resolve some of these so you can obtain a better restful sleep. This also can affect some of your stomach as well. So be careful of that. The Hermit is actually a great card. It's not one of isolation. It's one of a choice to kind of take your leave from the problems that are either you're facing or you're encompassed with other people's problems. But it's just like taking your leave from them so you can prioritize your life, what you want, the best outcome for you from the situation. Sometimes is to leave it for a moment and take a look at what would work for you, what you're willing to compromise on, etc. But it does look like it's time for you to take some either alone time or take some time away from the relationship for a moment, just to clear your head so you can come back in with a fresh look and a fresh start. But this light here is lighting up for me. It's time to follow the light of your heart. It's time to make you a priority. And some big sweeping changes have happened over the last couple of months. I know a number of Capricorns that are making huge life changes. Some were initiated by them and some were not. So take that time to prioritize and really figure out what would help you find your smile and where your next step will be. The Emperor is here. Now that can stand for a person of great authority for you. It also can stand for living in integrity, taking the high road, not kind of lowering yourself into the anger, the fear-driven things. And I think for you, Capricorn, it really stands for rising above the jive, rising above the jive. And the Emperor, he's one of the highest exalted and the wisest cards here. So take the high road. If you have two roads presented to you, take the high road. Speak your truth with love and kindness and with moral responsibility, not to hurt, to harm none type of thing, but also not to harm yourself. But it looks like you have been kind of putting some of your passions, your desires on the back burner for others. So now it's time to put your desires, your dreams, and your hopes to the forefront. It also is coming through to me that you have incorporated a little bit more of your spiritual practice on a daily basis, whatever that means to you. It could be, just walking around the block and honoring your body, or it could mean actually going to church, anywhere from one side of the spectrum to another, depending on what your belief system is. But it does look like you've taken a step up in making yourself a priority. Tower here, it's lessons through destruction. So if there's something that you have to say, that needs to be changed, and this can range anywhere from a physical thing to a mental or emotional thing, or a situation. But if you know that you're in a toxic relationship, it is right under a relationship space. So if you are in a toxic relationship and you are holding back, or you are not honoring your wishes, or making yourself second class in the relationship, take a step into those changes, because things are going to change with or without you. So acknowledge the changes that you have to make and embrace them, because doing nothing about something is a choice that will have an effect as well. The High Priestess here, she's also an exalted card. You have two exalted cards here, so finding the balance between the lowly stuff. It looks like you're really trying to remove fear-based emotions out of your life and embrace love-based emotions, positive things in your life, and making changes for the positive for yourself and for others, instead of just doing what people want you to do. So it does look like a big shift is coming if it hasn't already begun. But the High Priestess kind of helps you find your grounding and find your flow in the situation. And she's kind of like an angel on your shoulder that tells you about your magic, helps you find your balance, helps you balance the dark and the light, if you will. And also create and manifest from that place of exalted knowledge. So you may be collecting knowledge. Some of you may have gone back to church. Some of you may have reignited your passion for yoga or writing or whatever your God is, whatever your passion is. It's not necessarily a religious card, but it is when you look at things bigger than just the physical, that there is a spiritual meaning and there's a spiritual lesson in everything. So it looks like you're really starting to embrace the journey. It's not the destination, it is the journey. So it looks like you're looking at how to make your journey on this planet a little bit more tolerable and make you a priority, especially in relationship space. So the foundation of all this is kind of taking your leave. You have the Hermit here as well as the Four. And the Four is kind of like almost when you're hiding. Sometimes it's from shame, sometimes it's from ego, embarrassment, but it does look like you need to separate yourself from a situation so you can figure out what you want to do, what your next step is, and how you want that to look. Prioritize for yourself, but it looks like you may be holding on to an old way of life that is not working for you anymore, and you're holding on to it super, super tight. But sweet Capricorn, let it go. Let it go, whether it's a relationship or you putting yourself second, or in a job that you hate, or just doing a mundane thing that you just don't want to do anymore. It doesn't look like this activity is benefiting or serving you or anyone else. So it's time to release that and make yourself a priority and release that behavior that is no longer serving you. And it may take you some separation from people, places, and things for you to really truly get to the core of where that behavior began, to really release it. You're ready and you're very capable, Capricorn. So please step into your magic and release the behaviors, attitudes, mindsets that don't work for you anymore. So this is kind of a continuation of that. This is a 9, and 9s are like almost the completion of something. 10s are the completion. So it looks like you've been prioritizing, you've been cleaning out your closet, maybe packing up things, you know, going to St. Vincent de Paul, cleaning out the garage. It may be on a physical level, and it may be on an emotional level as well, too. But it looks like you're really getting rid of some of your outdated things, clothes, ideas, and keeping the things that do serve you from the past, but really taking a look at it. You know, have I been dragging this piano to every house I've ever been and I don't know how to play piano kind of things? That's just an analogy. It's just an example, but yes, and it looks like you are almost done creating the new life that you want for yourself. So don't give up. The Knight of Swords, he can represent kind of spontaneous activity. He can also stand for cutting words. So be careful if you are in a discussion with your loved ones, with your partner, that you choose your words kindly and with responsibility, even though you need to say things that may not be pleasantly welcomed. But it does look like that you will have a discussion kind of spontaneously, and it does look like there is some opposition in there. You may not be able to convince each other, but it's okay to disagree and have a compromise around it. But be careful of your words. That cutting sword is showing up here, that it could be a problem. This also can stand for an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, and someone that may have an effect on you, or someone that you may need to have a little speak with to make some changes. The Chariot here can mean a lot of things, actually. It can be finding balance in a world of chaos. It is finding balance between the dark and the light, which we all have within us. It can also mean traveling in style, but it does feel like for you, Capricorn, either saving or prioritizing for a dream come true that you've wanted to do. This could be traveling. You know, maybe you wanted to live in Italy for a month all of your life. So now is the time that you're prioritizing and, you know, letting things go that don't work. Or letting things go that are kind of frivolous expenses so you can save for something else. It does feel like it has something to do with money, that you may have to save for this. This may be looking for the house of your dreams, but it looks like your dream is in sight. Your dream is within reach. So don't give up. It will require some strength and some balance to achieve this, but it does look like something that is a personal goal of yours that you've always wanted to do, and it requires a little bit of temperance, a little bit of balance, but this crown is lighting up for me, so it feels like a dream come true type of thing, and it does require some strength and some energy. It does feel like it requires some money, but the freedom of these wings are lighting up for me too, is that you are embracing your freedom in some form or fashion. So a temperance also can be prioritizing. It's making you a priority, finding your balance. This triangle is lighting up for me. It is right over the heart. It is feeling like a little bit of a protection of your heart. Don't be afraid to open your heart to new things, Capricorn, and to release the old things. The 6th chakra here is lighting up, so it does feel like you are more and more and more connected with your spirit as a living being in your earth suit, and finding the balance between mind, body, and spirit. It does feel like that is on the agenda for the month of May. So that is your general reading for May, Capricorn. Let me throw a couple of these aura cards. Or chakra cards. Expansion. Okay, it's time to expand your awareness. Include yourself in your priorities, but expand your awareness to more than your city, your town, your state. It's time to look at the big pictures of things, not just the situations of how you get there. The second card is quest. So it does look like putting some of your desires as a priority and really following those quests that you have set up for yourself. It looks like dreams and things that you have set up for yourself and desires as a child. So now it's time to be on that quest to connect with yourself and to manifest those into reality.